Good morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the mask-wearing militant state of Michigan, FEMA Region 5. And all I can say is the last two nights on Periscope have been the wildest two nights I've ever seen in my life. So, the first night was the 60-minute tirade from Adam Gingrich. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with him, he has a Periscope site. I believe the site's name is Dixie Cup Nation, and he's for the most part, a political analyst, and I enjoy watching his site. But at one time, he was part of mostly a duo with a gentleman by the name of Glenn Herman, and they were the MAGA Coalition. And they ran a show on the New York City Guns website, and it was a really good show. I enjoyed watching it. They seem to be a pretty good pair. Unfortunately, things I guess weren't always as they seem, and after a couple of years, the show ended. There was a lot of personal opinion differences between the two, and they ended the show. And then they kind of went their separate ways, each doing their own thing. I don't want any comments about the windshield. Part of it is I just washed them. The wipers and everything, I guess everything didn't come off, a little bit of a smear. So anyways, over the last few months, Glenn has talked a little bit about his personal issues with why the site didn't continue on. Some of why his views are the difference in views and opinions, what led a little bit to the breakup. Mostly, I guess Glenn says he ended it, and I guess Adam didn't really say too much about it. At least he says he didn't say too much about it. I don't know. I kind of watch Adam on and off. I do try to catch a lot of Glenn's sites. Glenn has, I think he runs a show almost Sunday through Thursday nights. And Sundays is about a 4-hour show. And maybe it's 3 hours the other nights, but he's with a retired colonel on Sunday nights, and then he's alone he's solo the other nights unless he brings a guest on. But I try to catch Glenn's show, and Adam as much as I can, and that's really kind of odd, I guess. My thing with what happened between the two of them is Adam can be rather polarizing, and I know a lot of people talk about tribal these days, and I guess I really never experienced tribal until this breakup. And Adam seems to be in the camp of if you watch Glenn, kind of don't come over here. They had a pollster on by the name of Richard Barris, who also has a Periscope every day, and he's a pretty good political analyst, but apparently Adam doesn't like him. So if you come to his site, don't bring up his name. Glenn, on the other hand, doesn't really care if you watch who you watch, and he would never tell you not to watch Adam. He may say watch him, but I don't know, keep a vomit bag next to you. You know, he may say something like that. But anyways, the one thing that I did notice, aside from the Adam can be rather polarizing with some of the former people on the show, was that a lot of the people that were on the show, like Richard Barris, and they had another kind of co-host by the name of Ginger McQueen, they never affiliated with Adam after the breakup of MAGA Coalition, but they have gone on Glenn's site. They have been guests on Glenn's show. So it seems to be like Adam against the world. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way things are. And somebody, I don't know who, made some rather, I would call them heinous tweets about Adam and members of Adam's family. And he attributed it to a Twitter profile that was Glenn's. And Adam went on a 1-hour tirade, which I think most people probably would. Maybe he hasn't said things for about for quite some time, and that was just finally, it just went too far. But he basically accused Glenn of making those comments. Well, Glenn has denied it, and actually I believe Glenn. I don't think Glenn is the type of person that would do that. And so Glenn last night spent a good 2 hours talking about how it wasn't him. So unfortunately, Adam, although he said he was going to keep the 1-hour tirade and challenge to Glenn's manhood up on Periscope, he has since removed it. But you still can see Glenn's response and get some feel for what happened, and that is on New York City Guns. That's on YouTube and Periscope. So feel free to check it out. Now the next one happened last night, and it was a 4-hour, holy shit, what the hell is going on here? That was with Ali Alexander, Millie Weaver, her husband or boyfriend, I think his name is Richard Wentz, and then their, I guess you could say, co-producer, Tore Lindman, I believe her name is. She spells her name Tore. For maybe some of you have heard about Millie was arrested over this past weekend. She had her and her boyfriend and Tore had put together that documentary. Was it Shadowgate? I haven't watched it, but she was arrested, and they were saying that it could have been she was arrested because they had some government documents that classified documents they weren't supposed to have, and so a GoFundMe legal defense fund was started, and then as it turned out, it was over an assault charge and robbery charge of her mother's cell phone. And Ali started that Millie was a reporter for Alex Jones on InfoWars, and he had disassociated with Millie, and Ali started doing some investigating, and he came on Periscope, and a lot of times, Ali, it's almost like these vlogs where he's just kind of working through things, and he kind of talks in Periscope, and he's talking about what he's working on. It may turn out to be nothing, but he talks about his leads, and he was talking about how Tore's husband, could be soon to be ex-husband, is an admitted child rapist, and also how this defense fund was obtained under false premise, because everyone thought it was going to be because it had to do with the documentary, and it was sort of the government coming after Millie, and it turned out to be a personal issue that they should return the money, and it was taking under fraudulent, the donations were taken under fraudulent terms, and that they should return the money. There was some leads that were Ali was following, or talked about following, or mentioned of Satanism, and he finally got Millie and her boyfriend on Periscope last night, and for a while there, all hell broke loose. And Ali is a political consultant, corporate consultant, who deals a lot in not only the political side, but also crisis type management. And you saw a lot of that come into effect last night, where he's letting these people talk and state their case, and then he just kind of drops a bomb on them. We're taking the back roads, by the way, although everything where I live is back roads. Maybe we'll get some venison on the grill. I hope not, but thought I'd take you for a little ride in the country. So I hope you enjoy the dense forest. But anyways, after a couple hours of unfortunately dropped phone calls from Periscope, which seems to be common sometimes. I know that Scott Adams had trouble, I think, with Greg Gutfeld at one time, but then Tore got on the line, and then that went crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't really know what to think. There's a lot of this is, even with the one thing that was sort of common between MAGA coalition, and now the separate tribes, and the Millie thing, the Shadowgate thing, is that it seems like there's this belief that, for instance, what Millie is sort of intending on doing is sort of breaking some of the ranks of the say pro-Trump voters, and sort of breaking the bond between the group, taking people away from InfoWars, viewers from InfoWars, to kind of her side with, I guess, her channel and her boyfriend's channel and Tory's show, and then MAGA coalition divided between the two. They're splitting up people. You're either in Adam's corner or Glenn's corner. And being someone from the middle, you know, I don't see it. I think that's an unrealistic fear between all of them. I don't think it's mutually exclusive to like one or the other, or your faith or alliance with Trump is going to waver or weaken or strengthen because you watch one and not the other. I think it's an unfounded fear. I wish that they're always afraid of people leaving, and they're trying to steal people away from one another. I don't see it. I just don't. I mean, none of them are talking about not voting for Trump. I think their only difference in opinion is possibly the vote count right now. I mean, you might get, if you ask Ali what are the chances, he may give you one number. You ask Glenn, and he may tell you it could be a landslide for Trump. And if you talk to Adam, he may say, oh, it's a hell of a lot closer than a lot of people think. So that may be the only difference. So it's unfortunate that this happened on YouTube or on the internet, especially between Glenn and Adam. Millie and the Shadowgate crew, they're going to have a lot of explaining to do. Ali is really putting himself out there. I really got to admire him for that. I mean, this could, going this far out on the limb, man, is either going to make him a hero or it's going to be a terrible fall. I think the facts are with Ali, though. If you really want to see craziness, I mean, beyond anything you've seen on the internet, if you want to see people going after each other, go to Periscope, look up Ali Alexander, and watch last night's Periscope, because it is just crazy. So that's Dixie Cup Nation on Periscope. Adam Gingrich, I think he does pretty good political analysis. New York City Guns on Sunday nights, like I said, is about a 4-hour show. And then Glenn does a show Monday through Thursdays, 9 to midnight maybe. He's a great kind of, gives a kind of a regular guy perspective on things. It's a good show, and of course, Ali Alexander. You need to follow him on Periscope because it's only going to get crazier. So, do yourself a favor. Check out these guys. It's going to be interesting. And just sit back. You're going to need popcorn. If you watch Ali, you're going to need popcorn. Trust me. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.